Can you hear me? Hello? Yeah. I think the most important thing is to be active in some form of exercise if possible. Sedentary lifestyle is probably the worst thing that you can do to your health. It's even
Agreed,
worse.
yes.
It's even worse than smoking or drinking or any abusive habit that you have. Because when you exercise, I think that's the time when whether it's flushing out toxins from the body or building muscle, because we now know that muscle is a longevity kind of organ. It's
Yes.
like it helps you live longer, because as you grow older, you need your muscles to get up, to do activity. So when you exercise, you're also helping your joint health and all of that. So any form of exercise, whether it is swimming, running, basketball, weight training, aerobics, or any kind of those, yoga for that matter, are very, very essential and important for mental and physical, benefits.
Right, and you mentioned something really important, which is joint health.
Yeah.
So, how do you prevent joint injuries, especially if you are regularly
Basically, I mean to say,
exercising?
it's one has to be mindful about what kind of postures that you are in, even while you're exercising.
Correct.
Okay, so those are important. Warm up before any kind of an activity is important, because some people tend to, who are doing weight training, sometimes just hit the gym and they just get into a kind of a a workout which
Right,
is probably
right.
they're not yet prepared, because I think the body still needs, like maybe a 5 minute, kind of stretching
Correct,
or something.
correct.
Stretching
Before
is a
you
very
get-
important thing. Stretching is also something that is very essential. So these are the few things, if you do, they will really keep away from, let's just say, a person who exercises and has a fall, and a person who doesn't exercise and have
And
a
has
fall.
a fall,
If
yes.
you have muscles around you, you can protect your bones.
Right.
People who are stronger, if you like, let's just say the kind of acrobatic stuff that, say, a WWF guy does. He gets thrown and flung around and all of that happens. Why doesn't he get hurt?
Springs back up in a
Why
microsecond.
doesn't he
Yes,
get hurt as
yes.
much as a normal guy? If he had just probably twisted his foot,
Right.
what would happen to him? Is because you don't have the muscles to protect your bones, right? So I feel that muscles take away a lot of the injury shock.
Yeah.
So the first
And
most
both the
important
doctors are agreeing completely with what
the
you're saying.
first most important thing
Yeah.
that you need to do is to build muscle, because that's your protective gear towards any injury that happens.
Right.
People who have muscles will survive far greater injuries than people who don't have muscle.
Great, fantastic. So all this medical information that you am assuming on.
When I was very young, I was around 14. I met with a very serious Jeep accident, and I was flung from an open Jeep, and I landed on my leg, and I broke my femur.
At 15.
Yeah, I was about 14, 15 years old, and I had a horrible injury. Uh, Fortunately, I mean to say, it could have been even worse, because I landed on my leg. I could have landed on my head or whatever. And I had a mangled leg right in front of me, which had swollen to some God knows what size. So the accident happened at about 11:30 in the morning, but my first attendance that I got to the doctor was about 4:30 in the evening, because first we had to go to my family doctor, then he suggested what needs to be done. So I was in a taxi till then, and my first medical attention happened at about 4:30, and then the doctors, because I was young at that time, had
Yeah, you
decided
must have recovered better, quickly.
whether they decide that I should be put, my leg had to be, the bones had to be screwed or to be put on traction. So I think that time it was Harkishan Das Hospital, and it was Dr. Bansal, if I could recollect. He was the one who kind of attended to me, and he probably took some time to say whether they should do those screws on my leg or to this.
Did you have screws in your leg?
No. So
Okay.
he took the decision for me to have traction. But it so happened is that when I healed, sometimes the bones don't join accurately.
Correctly,
So
yes.
I had a limp for almost a year and a half,
Oh.
because my leg had probably been a little shorter than, because of the injury, the joining. So I had, so when the reason why I'm also very,
Sharing.
very happy to be here